call the meeting to order. Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance, please. It's a new meeting. Let's call the roll, since this one's televised.
Alderman Stralchek?
Here.
Alderman Talaco?
Here.
Alderman Meyer?
Here.
Alderman Hancher?
Here.
Alderman Bach?
Here.
Alderman Parrish?
Here.
Alderman Schneider?
Here.
Alderman Gebhardt?
Here.
Mayor Nurbin?
Here. First up, we have personal appearances and public comment. Citizens wishing to address the council on any item not on the agenda may do so at this time. If you desire to be heard on an agenda item, you may be heard when that item is considered on the agenda. Please speak into the mic. The time limit is 5 minutes. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak on any item not on the agenda?
Since it's her last regular meeting, I just wanted to thank Alderwoman Schneider for her service.
Wait, could you repeat your name and address? I'm just kidding. Is there anyone else who would wish to speak on any item not on the agenda? Seeing none, we'll move on to public officials' reports. I don't have anything. Administrator Jones?
I have nothing this evening, Mayor. Thank you.
All right, making up some time here. Next, we have the consent agenda. We have various sets of boards and commissions minutes from committees. It looks like, yeah, 3 first readings as well. We'll do the, is there a motion on the consent agenda for the non-ordinance first reading items?
Move approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on any of those? Hearing or seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Those items are approved. We have 3 first readings, so I'll read them all here in order. Ordinance 2024-1661, an ordinance amending Chapter 58 of the Mequon Municipal Code in connection with clarifying certain definitions, design standards, and location standards for residential development within the city's town center and arrival corridor districts. This was recommended by Planning Commission March 18th. It is a first reading. Ordinance 2024-1662, an ordinance repealing and recreating Article 11 within the Chapter 58 of Mequon Municipal Code as it relates to floodplain zoning. This was also recommended by the Planning Commission on March 18th and is a first reading. Ordinance 2024-1663, an ordinance repealing and recreating the City of Mequon Aldermanic District map due to 2024 Senate and Assembly redistricting. Recommendation forthcoming this evening from Public Welfare,
Public Welfare voted on it, and it was approved unanimously.
and it is a first reading. Thank you. So there are the first readings. We won't take action on those unless anyone wants to suspend the rules, and I don't see anyone raising their hands. That brings us to Ordinance 2024-1660 for actual consideration, an ordinance amending Chapter 14 of the Mequon Municipal Code in connection with reporting requirements for auctions and secondhand stores. Recommendation by Public Safety on March 12th, and a first reading of the Common Council also on March 12th. Is there a motion or any questions for staff?
Move approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Always a good time for comments before we vote on it. Anyone? Everyone's good with it. Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that ordinance is adopted. Next, on to resolutions. We have several resolutions, but there is one group here who is going to actually get some questions and maybe present some things. That is our, let's see, which item is that?
4116.
116. Could I perhaps get a
Make a motion
I
to
move to
suspend the
suspend the
rules.
rules and
Okay.
take up Resolution 4116.
okay, motion and a second? All those in favor of suspending the rules, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We will now take up Resolution 4116. A resolution approving a pre-development agreement with the Rotary Club of Thiensville, Mequon for development of an all-user inclusive playground at Rotary Park. This was recommended by the Park and Open Space Board April 2nd. Further recommendation forthcoming from Public Works this evening.
I'm
got
going to
Public Works.
not participate in the vote
okay.
on this because I'm on the committee that is proposing this.
We have a,
Three.
okay, we have one abstention.
The Public Works approved of it 2-0.
Fantastic. All right. Would the members of the Rotary Club please come forward, I guess, and or maybe we just have former Mayor Worth as their representative. Mr.
Here.
You got to hit that microphone, buddy.
Yeah, I'm used to those. Jenny Hone, who is the co-chair and the president of the Thiensville Mequon Rotary Club, the Noon Club, is here with me. Lynn Streeter, who's a member of the Morning Rotary Club, as well as a member of Rotary Foundation in Mequon. And John Robinson, who is a Noontime member, joined me today, and if people have questions for any of them, but hopefully I can be relatively briefer than I was at Public Works. The Noontime Club has been working on trying to find its next major project, and our club has brought to you things like Rotary Park in the first place, the Riverwalk, the Gateway feature, and over the last year and a half has spent a lot of time considering our next major contribution we'd like to make to the city. And that contribution we're hoping to make is an all-user playground at Rotary Park. It hopefully is the first phase in a number of improvements we'd like to make to the park, to make the park more accessible, not just for kids, but for all users, including adults and seniors. And so we took it upon ourselves to engage a landscape architect to make certain suggestions. For example, people go to Gathering on the Green. There is no great path if you're in a wheelchair or walker to go and see it Gathering on the Green. There's no great path to get between the two pavilions at the park. And there's a variety of other improvements we'd like to see. But our first phase, is to do a playground. It's something that Mequon sorely needs. Much of our playground equipment, in our parks is many years old. The playground that we're hoping to replace is more than 25 years old, and the equipment was used when it was installed, because one Rotarian had a home they were brokering that they wanted to get rid of. The playground equipment was there. I don't want to belabor it, since I'm hoping that there's not a lot of opposition. But the reason we're here tonight, those who've been on the council for a while have recognized that we've had many people want to make contributions to the city. And often they go out and they raise money and make announcements and show all sorts of plans before they've actually come and talked to those of you who actually have control over the property that they want to make that improvement to. Our thought was we should start our process. We needed to have some plans. We needed to have internally, but not publicly. Do some work, figure out what it is that we wanted to do, but come to you before we go out and have focus groups. Come to you and before we go out and talk to donors, to make sure that while we're not asking you for a commitment tonight, we're asking you for your blessing that you think that this is an improvement to the city of Mequon. Even though it's been in our park plan, and I kind of checked your budget, I didn't see the large allocation to build this park, but it is in the budget. We'd like to be the conduit to make sure that this feature in your park plan actually gets built. Now, there's a long way between here. There are some renderings in your packet. We think it's a big improvement. We're going to hold some focus groups to make sure that people in the special needs community think that it's still, that we're not missing something. But we've gone and looked at, in the aggregate, dozens of parks. We've talked to communities that have built these kind of parks to find out what they did right, what they did wrong, who they used. We've done a lot of spade work or prep work before we came to you, because we didn't want to come off half-cocked. But this is an opportunity for the council to say, hey, we think this would be a good thing for Mequon. Go ahead, but we'll come back to you with plans for you to finally review. We'll come back to you with a plan for construction and you know, those kind of approvals. So tonight you're not giving a final approval to anything other than a blessing to say it's okay. This is something that the Rotary Club can go out and tell people that the city's interested in, and that we're not raising funds without having your blessing. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. I certainly do think it's a significant improvement over the facilities that are there now, and those have been on the list of replacement needs for as long as I've been here. And it's, I think it's a welcome public-private partnership to help make some progress on the ever-growing list of park needs, and it takes a big hole out of, or a big chunk out of the work we have to do, and we can concentrate on doing things elsewhere if the Rotary Club were to take this on. So I'd open it up for any questions, and if there are any. I see a thumbs up. Alderman Parrish?
No question, just the Parks Board was very enthusiastic for the presentation from Jen and from former Mayor Worth. This is a really exciting project, something that former mayor had actually pitched back in his day, just recognizing that it was a need. And you're all about to see with the new comprehensive park plan that we're about to do that every playground is at the very end, if not past. So, and they're very expensive, and it's going to take a lot of private groups to fund these over time. And so just to get this one underway is very important before we've even had the study done, recognizing it's past its prime and needs to be replaced. So thank you for your leadership and being willing to raise the funds.
Alderman Stralchek?
I just want to say thank you to John for helping champion this, and the Rotary for its consistent contribution to the community. Without you, it wouldn't be where we are today, and a lot of what we enjoy as residents is because of the Rotary. So thank you for your service and your time and investment in our community. Appreciate it. This is great.
Looks like a thumbs up from everyone. If there aren't any other comments, we could, we have a motion and a second? I forgot. We need a motion and a second. Okay.
I'd move to approve.
Resolution 4116.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any last comments? If not, all's in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? And the
Thank you all.
pre-development agreement is approved.
We'll be back in
Good luck.
a few months to update you on where we're at, and hopefully have some more concrete plans and a more concrete timing. And thank you all.
Excellent, thank you. All right, we'll pick the agenda back up where we left off before we deviated from the script. Our next resolution is Resolution 4110, a resolution dissolving Tax Increment District Number 2 and authorizing the dispersion of excess incremental value to the affected taxing jurisdictions. This was recommended by the Economic Development Board on March 19th and further recommended this evening by Finance and Personnel Committee.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Are there any comments or questions? Hearing none, I'll just add that it's nice to see a TID district go away. It's also even nicer to see it go away when it's in the black. So a little bit of money will go back to the taxing jurisdictions, and we'll be out of the TID 2 business very shortly here. So good job to staff and everyone who participated, and another success story for the city and those participating in the business park. So we had a motion and a second, I believe. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that resolution is approved. Resolution 4111, resolution approving revisions to the Mequon ward listing, ward map, and polling site designations due to 2024 Senate and Assembly redistricting. Recommendation forthcoming from Public Welfare.
Public Welfare voted on this evening, unanimously approved, and I recommend Resolution 4111.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, everyone who is in favor of approval, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? And that's approved as well. Resolution 4112, resolution approving award for the 2024 GS 88 bituminous seal contract to Farner Asphalt Sealers of Wanakee, Wisconsin, the amount not to exceed of $97,000. Recommendation forthcoming from Public Works.
Unanimously recommended. I will move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, please call the roll.
Alderman Stralchuk,
Aye.
Alderman Talaco,
Aye.
Alderman Meyer,
Aye.
Alderman Hancher,
Aye.
Alderman Bach,
Aye.
Alderman Parrish.
Aye.
Alderman Schneider,
Aye.
and Alderman Gebhardt.
That resolution passes as well. Next, we have Resolution 4113, resolution approving the purchase of a Land Pride AFM 4522 Batwing finish mower from John P. Lochin and Company of Newburgh, Wisconsin, the amount of $34,900. Recommendation forthcoming from Public Works.
Also recommended and move approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Our first Batwing in the city, yeah. Kids will be excited. Any further comments or questions on this equipment purchase? Hearing and seeing none, please call the roll.
Alderman Talaco,
Aye.
Alderman Meyer,
Aye.
Alderman Hancher,
Aye.
Alderman Bach,
Aye.
Alderman Parrish.
Aye.
Alderman Schneider,
Aye.
Alderman Gebhardt,
Aye.
Alderman Stralchuk.
Aye.
That resolution passes as well. On to Resolution 4115, a resolution awarding a contract for an update to the Comprehensive Park, Recreation, and Open Space Plan to MSA Professionals Incorporated of Mequon, Wisconsin, in the amount not to exceed of $50,500. This was recommended by the Park and Open Space Board on April 2nd, and further recommendation forthcoming from Public Works this evening.
Also recommended and move approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any comments or questions on the update to the park plan? Hearing and seeing none, please call the roll.
Alderman Meyer,
Aye.
Alderman Hancher,
Aye.
Alderman Bach,
Aye.
Alderman Parrish.
Aye.
Alderman Schneider,
Aye.
Alderman Gebhardt,
Aye.
Alderman Stralchuk,
Aye.
and Alderman Talaco.
Aye.
That resolution passes. On to our last resolution, Resolution 4114, resolution approving the Southern Ozaki Fire and EMS Department's capital improvement budget amending to authorize the purchase of a 2026 Ford ambulance from Lifeline Emergencies Vehicles of Sumner, Iowa, in the amount of $365,144. This was recommended by the Southern Ozaki Fire and EMS Board on March 13th, and further recommendation coming this evening from Public Safety.
Unanimously recommended, and I move approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any comments or questions on the purchase of the new ambulance? Just for clarification, I think it's every purchase over $100,000 by Southern Ozaki Fire and EMS.
No, what the agreement calls for is that the two bodies, the council and the
Yeah.
village board in Thiensville, approve the capital budget on an annual basis. And as long as the capital budget has the expenditure identified in it, the SOFD is able to make that purchase.
Okay.
In this case, the budget did not identify this as a potential purchase, it was really, I guess, identified as a need based on just the timing of when ambulances were going to be available and not. It's technically a budget amendment, and so that's what we're
Okay.
doing, is approving that amendment to authorize that.
Wanted to
purchase.
clarify that for everyone here and watching. Yeah, we can't get an ambulance in 2025 because they're already spoken for, so you have to order early and wait. Thank you, City Attorney Sadek. I forget, we had a motion in a second. We had that little bit of clarification. Are there any further questions? If not, please call the roll.
Alderman Hancher,
Aye.
Alderman Bach,
Aye.
Alderman Parrish,
Aye.
Alderman Schneider,
Aye.
Alderman Gebhardt,
Aye.
Alderman Stralchuk,
Aye.
Alderman Talaco,
Aye.
and Alderman Meyer.
Aye.
And that resolution passes as well. We have no specified unfinished business from prior meetings, no specified new business. We do have one potential closed session item. Potential offer for the purchase of property located at 11340 North Cedarburg Road. The Common Council may convene into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin Statute 19.85, paren 1, paren E, for the purpose of deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session, and then may reconvene into open session to take action, such action as deemed appropriate. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
Move to go into closed session.
Motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Alderman Bach,
Aye.
Alderman Parrish,
Aye.
Alderman Schneider,
Aye.
Alderman Gebhardt,
Aye.
Alderman Strelchak,
Aye.
Alderman Telako,
Aye.
Alderman Meyer,
Aye.
Alderman Hancher,
Aye.
Mayor Nurbin.
Aye. We will now go into closed section. We may come back, we may not, so stay tuned.